Bonjour. Good afternoon.
Auditor General Karen Hogan says nothing has changed in the past 20 years when it comes to the poor quality housing First Nations communities have become used to.
After 4 audit reports, I can honestly say that I am completely discouraged that so little has changed and that so many First Nations individuals and families continue to live in substandard homes.
The auditor's latest report finds Ottawa has only completed 20% of its commitment to close the First Nations housing gap by 2030. First Nations people are 4 times higher to live in overcrowded housing and 6 times higher to live in homes needing major repairs than the non-Indigenous population, according to the 2021 census. And mold continues to be a problem in many First Nations homes. Indigenous Services Minister Patty Hajdu acknowledges that there are problems, but says the government remains committed to closing the First Nations housing gap by 2030.
That's why that goal is in place, so that it focuses the mind of all departments of the Government of Canada that we need to work faster and that we need to be making ambitious investments like the ones we've already made, but I would argue more, and that we need to be working with partners to make sure that we have the creative solutions to closing that gap.
When it comes to First Nations policing services, Hogan says the government didn't do well in this area either. All too often, her report finds, money targeted for these services isn't getting to where it is supposed to.
We also found that because of staffing shortages over the past 5 years, the RCMP has been unable to fully staff the positions for which it receives funding under the program's agreements. This leaves First Nations and Inuit communities without the level of proactive and community-focused policing services that they should receive.
The auditor's report finds $13 million targeted for First Nations policing services in the 2022-2023 fiscal year went unspent, and 62 RCMP positions funded under the Community Tripartite Agreement went unhired. Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc says staffing shortages have been a problem, but believes new RCMP Commissioner Mike Duhaime is making headway.
It's not a secret. Commissioner Duhaime has talked about some of the challenges around recruitment in the RCMP and filling some of the vacant positions that exist. I think he's got an effective plan that will and has already started to deal with this challenge, but that's one of the realities that the RCMP is facing.
Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.